So I have Travis Byram here, Luis Martinez, the Big Chief Burrito himself, REID MURPHY is moi speaking to you, and we are finally getting into some TV talk. And there's plenty to talk about. The Emmy nominations were just released, but even more so, that's important. We just got into the launch of the actors strike, the SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, going on strike. They're joining now the Writers Guild of America. The writers strike has been going on for it's been a little over a month, maybe 2 months now. Not sure. And I want to get you guys' thoughts on what this strike means, the importance of it, the impact, and what your hopes are to come out of it, because what these actors and especially what the writers are fighting for here, it seems relatively, you would think, easy, something to go for when, the actors are asking for 2% revenue when it comes with the residuals and all of this. 2% out of everything that these studios and these execs like Bob Iger, the president of Disney, who's been a real bitch lately with his comments.
Bob Iger, you a bitch.
You a bitch. You would think that it wouldn't be that hard, but Luis, you're in it. You know so many people involved with this. What are your thoughts towards the strike?
Well, this is, in my opinion, sort of our clearest example of like late stage capitalism, where it's profits over anything and profits for shareholders over anything. Studios used to be owned by people with money that also happen to love movies. That transitioned over the last 30, since probably summer blockbusters became a thing, to being owned by corporations or multinational corporations. And it's less important for the people at top to make interesting art as it is to make money or dividends. So this is just a natural progression of that. They're taking the labor that people do, the writers, the actors, the background actors, even the IATSE strike with the grips and production people, the people that make film is a collaborative art. It's the collaborative art. You need a bunch of people. You need the writers, but without the director, you don't got shit. Without the actors, you ain't got shit. Without the camera people, you don't have shit. And it's not a business. It's a business that makes money, but it shouldn't be about it. So for me, it's like it comes to the exact core of literally like the human experience, because technology is supposed to make our lives easier so that we can pursue art. We live on a planet all together on a rock, hurling through space in an infinite space, and we decided to create a system of money and governance instead of just eating the shit that was on the ground and having orgies all day and just hanging out, eating mushrooms. That's besides the point. But somehow we're in this fucking greedy fucking ecosystem. All these fucking piece of shit studio execs are trying to exact this last bit of thing. And if they had their way, they would just scan actors, create them with AI, give you a shitty ass product that you're still going to watch because there's nothing else to watch, right? And they would do it that way. If they could eliminate most actors except for their name, they would. If they could eliminate most writers and not have to deal with writers, they would with AI. So don't be fooled. This is not about greedy writers or greedy actors that are trying to get more out of the poorest studios. This is about trying to salvage an art form. Because if there is no need for writers, if there's no need for talented actors, then it's one less thing that we can do, that we can create. It's an art that's going to die. And as a filmmaker, as an actor, as a writer who's pre-WGA, pre-DGA, I don't have enough credits or work in to join the union. But we've made SAG movies. We've had several movies that we made under SAG contracts because I know a lot of SAG actors. And listen, they're pissed, but their resolve is strong. This will not end with the studios winning. The Directors Guild took a sweetheart deal, kind of makes directors look bad. The WGA is strong. The SAG team is fucking strong. I know there's some people out there like movies suck, this and that, but honestly, it's just about salvaging this art form. yes, we were in a shitty sort of era of too many comic book movies, too many remakes, and bad IPs. We're going to get through that, and there's going to be a next era of incredible movies. There's so much prestige TV on right now. There's so many good shows. And there's no way you can recreate a writer's trauma, story, soul by a machine. It's not going to happen. So it's going to end up like and more strikes are happening right now, which is fucking awesome because we're at a fucking turning point. Late stage capitalism has got us by the fucking throat. And hopefully more people unionize, more people take a stand against greedy, corrupt. I mean, honestly, how much, just say a number. How much money do you guys need? Let's just give them that money and then let's just create a fair system for everybody. Like, how much money do the insurance companies need? Just give them that. How much money do the studios need? Can we just have creative people making movies and maybe some healthcare? Like, just let us live. That's all we want. So, sorry about rambling right here, but I think it's going to end up with a better deal. It's going to be a better deal, and the studio's going to fight super hard to keep this AI bullshit in, where they can scan a background actor and then use their likeness in perpetuity. And trust me, a lot of the contracts that people sign these days, like the one Chappelle signed back in the day for Chappelle's show, he did a whole bit about that. A lot of these things have that language that they own your likeness in perpetuity. So this is just about greed. This isn't about some unjust. Only 2% of the actors that we know about. Only 2% of actors are like celebrities, big money, mansions. The other 9% of actors are hardworking actors. They're going from set to set every day doing background work. They'll get a commercial, and then 6 months later, they'll get a starring role. It's hard to be an actor. Only the tippity top percent really are the ones that you think about. Oh, no. Most of them are hardworking fucking people. So I hope that it ends well with a better deal for the writers, because I want to be in the Writers Guild. I want to be in the Directors Guild somewhere. I'm going to be keeping making movies for the rest of my life. But it's an unfair system. And people need to, support the union, support actors, support writers, and tell these greedy CEOs to go fuck themselves.
Just like Bob Iger talking about what the demands that the writers and actors are going for is disturbing, while he makes his $30 million annual salary. And it's just crazy to me that the AI bullshit is the biggest, and it's terrifying to think that that's what they want, that you can get scanned for one day of like background work.
$200 a day.
Right.
For $200.
And you won't see residuals for it. I mean, just looking at the residuals for what there was Alex O'Keefe is a writer for FX's The Bear, and he was on the Dan Le Batard show, and he talked about this really brilliantly, and about how one of his friends was a writer for Modern Family. She was part of a Emmy-winning team for that show, for an Emmy-winning episode that she wrote, and her residuals on that show, which you can find in syndication pretty easily. You'll see Modern Family on lots of channels all the time. She sees about 27 cents a month as a check for her residuals for this.
Reed, imagine this, right? So,
wow.
Let's say you come up with a concept for a TV show, right? By some miracle, because it's a long shot to get it done, you get it on Disney Plus, right? You get 2 seasons on Disney Plus, right? And
Right.
Your money is based on, you get maybe like 10 grand up front, another 10, 20 grand or something like that. It's a good chunk of money. It's not going to carry you for more than a few months or a year, right? And then they say, yeah, but you're going to keep getting money because we're going to put you on Disney Plus, and anytime people screen it, you're going to get money, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't make DVDs of it anymore, so you can't get money from physical copies, right? So if somebody really liked your show, they could go buy the DVD of it. But Disney's like, nah, why would you need a DVD? We have it on Disney Plus, right?
Right.
You get put on Disney Plus, both seasons, people watch it. It's a hit. It draws people to Disney Plus. And then there's a drop off in viewership for a little bit. And then Disney says, you know what? Fuck REID. And they take it off of Disney Plus. Your fans cannot buy DVDs of it. New people, you can't push people to the platform. They got the initial push that they wanted from having you on, and they take it off the platform. Now they owe you nothing. until time decides, maybe 3 or 4 years from now, they decide to plug it on there, but they don't tell nobody. They don't do any promotion, so people don't even know it's there. So as a tax write-off, they can now say that this lost money. That's another thing you got to look into, Hollywood accounting, how they take a movie that makes money and they somehow make it not make money. So that's another thing that they can do. They can give you the deal that's a piece of shit and then take you off their platforms and stop paying you at that moment, which means no residuals.
And that's been something big to watch with like Warner Brothers Discovery over the last several months, where you can see it's very open about the tax write-off process with these movies. I mean, you have movies like Batgirl, which who knows how the quality would have been, but it was a
$70 million write-off.
Right. Movie almost finished. I think there was like a sequel to Scoob, like several movies that people put in a lot of hard work, and it's just erased. It will never see the light of day. Like they get rid of every possible copy, and if you do get something out, it could be a lawsuit right there. All of these things you brought up with Disney Plus, one of big example was a movie that we saw, it was maybe just a little over a month ago, called Crater, which was a movie that they added to Disney Plus. It was pretty good, and it got really good critical reception. It starred Kid Cudi and this younger actress, McKenna Grace. Really good sci-fi coming-of-age movie, and just less than 2 months, it's removed. It's a Disney Plus original film, and it's removed from the shelves. Like, you can't find it anywhere else. Just like Louis said, there's no DVD copy of it, no way to stream it anywhere else. And one thing that it hurts are actors' residual payments, and that was something that was brought up immediately. Not only is Disney Plus getting the write-off on it, but now these actors like Kid Cudi, McKenna Grace, all these young child actors that are in the film are not going to get their proper cuts from the film because it saw no theatrical release. It was straight to streaming and then removed from streaming almost immediately. It's crazy. It's crazy to me that all of these are simple demands. And while we're at this, it's a reminder that this show is one of many that does support the strike, and there are ways to get out there and support the strike. We'll put the links out there. One of the big ones is the Snack List. I love the name, the Snack List, that has been helping out with the writers. It's a way to help. You can donate money, and it brings out food and water, brings out all these supplies to help the writers that are out there on the picket lines every day. And there's been some really cool creative picket line strikes too that I've seen that they're using to keep everybody's spirits up and to gain attention to this. But Travis, we're huge cinephobes. We're movie fanatics. We love to see the release of films, and now this is something that the studios will weaponize, saying that, hey, it's going to hurt you guys, the fans. You're not going to get your movies on time. So many films have already shut down production because they literally can't without SAG actors or WGA writers on set. And some films like Deadpool 3 have been a little controversial because they're filming without the writer available, and Ryan Reynolds is a big ad-libber. Could count, who knows? But we're going to see, right as we're in the summer of a huge film boom from movies that were delayed and finally coming out, we're going to see a lot more delays again, a lot more cancellations. But it's worth it, right? Like, as a cinephobe, as a cinephile, we can agree this is all worth it.
Bro, the only two things I have ever been good at in my life, really ever, can't really change a tire. The only two things I've ever been good at are writing and acting. And I am with them until the bitter end. It is ridiculous. And my niche interests have already come to play in the whole writers strike, because the Tony Awards just happened, and there was no host, no written jokes for the Tony Awards. They got around it by dancing the opening number and singing some songs, you know. If award shows, if the strike is still going on, which, Lord, I hope it's not going on by when award season comes around, but they're going to have to get really creative. Nothing happens without writers. And another point I've been very interested in is how AI factors into all of this. You know, I was just in a musical in Lynchburg, Virginia, and I was talking with my castmates about how I know, just at the bottom of my heart, I know there is going to be an AI Broadway musical in the next 2 years. And it's not going to be because it's so fucking clever or it's cool. It's going to be, oh, a robot made this. Isn't this funny? But then people will get used to AI. They'll start warming up to it. And then we'll get musicals where AI did write the lyrics and did write the book to it. And it'll be really hard to distinguish. I think it's a really scary thing as a writer when you see, a ninth grader type into Chat GPT, tell me the symbolism in The Great Gatsby, and it can spit it out.
Yeah.
Because that's eventually for sure what they are going to do is they're going to say, give me a screenplay, 90s vibe, romantic comedy, PG-13, not a lot of swear words, and they can tailor it to do exactly whatever they want.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That is terrifying.
You're going to be seeing one of my biggest predictions from this is you're going to get some really shitty Netflix shows. Like I fully believe Netflix would be the one to start spending some money on AI scripts for some
Netflix already
shows.
does.
Yeah.
Netflix uses AI in their algorithm, and it uses AI algorithm to decide which shows that it's being pitched to accept.
Yep.
This all started, if you remember, a couple of years back, where there was all these posts where it'd be like, I forced my bot to watch 8,000 hours of Olive Garden commercials, and this is the commercial I wrote. Or that's where it started, man.
Yeah.
And Travis is right. Anything, shout out theater kids, by the way. Anything that AI is writing is derivative. Everything that AI creates is going to be derivative because it needs to learn from real humans. And even though it could pick up the beats of what a 90s comedy is and what the hidden message between movies is, it's like I said, it's never going to recreate. It's never going to have the lived experience of a writer. It's never going to have the lived experience of a director interpreting what a writer has created, and even what an editor does for films and TV shows. It can't do it because the only way that it's learning is by it can be. I think it can if we embrace it as a tool for some aspects of filmmaking, it can work, but they saw the potential. It's the line. They never stop to ask themselves if they should. And the reason that they're saying that is because of money and greed. So yeah, absolutely, 100% right on, Travis, in terms of the AI stuff and how scary it is.
Oh yeah, and you're gonna see there's gonna be shows like Law and Order SVU, very formulaic, the formulaic procedural shows that are going to lean more into AI just being able to spit out things. Hallmark Christmas movies, but all of these things are things that employ people. And when you're using a robot and having something just spit out a story, you're not going to get the same heart and the same love and emotion that creates beautiful stories like on The Bear on FX, which puts out incredible things. Succession, which captures beautiful emotion and heart in the shittiest of people in situations. It's so, these stories are so complex that you're not going to be able to get that done with AI.